I don't even know. But actually, there was like some. I wasn't really sure the entrance criteria, but I think it had like submitted application, and then they split it up into 4 groups, and then the top four. Actually, the top three was interesting. It was like um, people that we've all featured in 1v1 or 2v2s before. It was Yabsab, who came in third,
Right.
Scan, who came in second, and Yoon, who came in first. And Yoon is, has the famous like best of 5 series win against, or was it best of 3 series win against Flash, which is kind of cool.
Is that what happened? Because I was just told he beat him 6 times, and I think he lost 11 times in a bunch of games they played. But beating Flash just once, and there's a bunch of YouTubes, and I've seen some of it, of his ZVT. Incredible stuff. What a great player. So in this show match, we got the barcode is Scan and yabsab.
Right.
Playing Zerg. It doesn't show up that well in the resource bar, the dark blue names, for some reason. It's not a very good color, but this is a best of 5. And we slightly increased the prize amount because it's yabsab's first, I guess, entrance in the Showmatch series.
So if if the tourney results are accurate, then we would expect a fairly close match between these two players, which is exciting. Right off the bat, we see an early hatch before pool from Yabsab. And Scan is just doing something standard. He looks like he's going for an early CC after barracks. Not mining gas yet. Pretty standard builds thus far. Looks like they're just scouting each other now. So I do remember watching the Yabsab versus Scan series, and I want to say Scan actually threw out, I think, interesting builds in that series. Most of the time, he would go with like an 8-racks,
right,
in the middle of the map, like at his natural or something, and then follow it up with like a 1-1-1 kind of builds, like the 1 factory, 1 barracks, 1 starport build. And he actually did really well against Yabsab with that. Like, he threw out that. He had transitions where he played mech games where he just went 2 factory. So I'm kind of curious what we're going to see from Scan this series.
That's cool, right, man. I don't think I've actually seen yabsab.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool series. I watched that, and I also watched, I think, a couple of the games that he played against Yoon. Yoon is scary, man. He is a monster.
Yeah.
Like the Korean.
And was playing Terran against him, and those were some really good matches. One of them was long. I think it was like 45 minutes long. They're on our YouTube. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check out that show match. Scan.
Yeah. In general, like Korean Micro is just on another level. It's
I think
insane.
we're kind of fortunate to have these guys as part of our series because they're contending up there with the pros. Scan is part of Light's team. I'm not sure whose team Yoon is a part of or yabsab, but what I've learned is that these guys are considered, and maybe they call themselves amateur pros or whatever, but I mean they're really good. I think they can beat any foreigner, and they've decided to sort of participate in our series, which is really cool.
I'd give them like maybe 3-2 or 2-1 odds against any foreigner. The other thing worth mentioning is that tourney that they played in, that Challengers Star League. one like there was prize money for it. I think it was like 3,000 or 2,000, like for the
First and
first
second
place.
place, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
comfortable.
But then I think the big prize of it was that first place got a seed into or an invite into the next ASL,
Exactly.
right? So congrats to Yoon for making that jump from to the next level. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a 2-edge Muta build against. Oh wow, this was a really early Academy build from Scan, because if you look at it, look at this timing. He's got these Marines and Medic streaming across the map,
Yeah.
and this is really early.
I really like how he didn't lose a single lane there, where he was just maneuvering around Scan's expansion. And here back again. I guess he's gonna run in.
Yeah, Lean's coming in, just seeing if they can be annoying. Harassing this turret here, forcing a cancel, just delaying these turrets, because he's gonna have Mutalisks in the next. Well, he already has Mutalisks on the map. 3 of them going across the base.
2, 3. Upgrading armor. Hero pace.
Yeah, when you see the Mutalist upgrades, you know they're going heavy on Mutalists. Yeah, so let's see what he can do with this Mutalist micro.
Takes out 1 medic. 7 mutas. That Overlord is so useful there.
Yeah, keeping eyes on exactly where Scan's Marine Medic ball is, so he can kind of like weave in and out.
Right. It's looking good so far, man.
Yeah, and it's not even like a super all-in. I mean, I guess he's going heavy on Mutalisks, but he has his third base up, his third gas up during this.
I mean, I'm glad that he get to play without lag, so he could just mute a micro and Scan could micro
Right.
without thinking about latency.
Yeah, one thing
is entering the bottom of the.
Oh, I love this. He built those 2 Firebats early on.
It's got 4
and really, yeah, after like 5 minutes after you secure your base against any early Zergling all-ins, they don't have that much utility until maybe super late game. And so he just like sent it around the map looking for that third expansion. Unfortunately, I don't think it got very much damage done, but it was very annoying. Well, I guess I'll say if you just look at it on paper, he didn't get much damage done with that Firebat. But in the game, what actually happened was he caused these Mutalisks to turn back,
right,
go to his third base to address the Firebat. And so that is like, 30 seconds, which is maybe like...
And a little time. It was good. One fire.
I think it's especially important because Scan didn't have... I mean, he still only has two barracks, right? So he doesn't have the ability to pump out that many Marine Medic. So 2 Hatch Muta will overwhelm... Micro Power will overwhelm 2 barracks.
I like this little space that he's chosen to maneuver his mutas around. He did take a few more hits this time around, but he's gotten a few SCVs, a few Marines, but that might be it. 2 starports.
Yep. I don't see a science facility yet. Okay, he's building it at his... Yeah, he's building it at his natural. That's one of the things that's kind of difficult about this, at least I find difficult about this top position on this map, and that like building placement as a Terran is pretty difficult. It's just like because you have this whole bottom area of your base that you have to defend against Mutalisks. So if you try to build any of your buildings down in this area, direction buildings down in this area, Mulas can super easily snipe them. Whereas I think on the other positions on this map, you have areas, like much larger areas to the sides, or at least like to the sides of your base that are not exposed to the center of the map to build your buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so important because in a ZVT like this, it's really the past few minutes has been predicated on the mutas harassing, keeping him in his base, so he can expand and tech up. Getting defilers now. His consume upgrade is almost done. Nidus Canal. Quite a few hatcheries, man.
Yeah, as a Zerg, this is the place you want to be in. You want to be in a place where the Muto harassed early game has basically kept the Terran in his base the whole time. You get your third gas up, you get your hive tech up, and you're on your way to transitioning to those defilers, which is
Just got him out.
I say it's the most OP unit in the game.
It didn't work that well for True Touch last game. The fire bats, I just never knew they're that effective.
Yeah.
They did 20 damage with +2 upgrades. Ooh, 2 drop ships. I didn't see those.
Firebats are real. Oh yeah, I like these dropships here. It looks like he wants to do a thing, like where he ferries his army in to his main, or maybe not.
They're empty.
They're empty, exactly. So I'm wondering if he was trying to, like bring his army down to that, to the third area.
Oh, I see.
Is what's called elevatoring, using the elevator tactic to bring his army in, where he just goes back and forth.
So he's gonna load some units in there. For some reason, I thought, is this a fake drop? Do they do that? They don't do that. One of them's fully loaded. The other one just has 3 units in there. They're gonna snipe out that Overlord. They saw the.
Yeah, this Overlord overseeing the dropships.
It's funny how he just unloaded there and killed it off, right?
Yeah, it is funny. I think there's a reason probably to it. I think he's probably figures he doesn't have time to continue microing it in case it gets intercepted by Scourge. So better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
It's always the dilemma, right? When you try a sneaky drop, but then it gets seen by an Overlord or scouting pylon or supply depot. Do you unload right there, or do you keep going on and hope they didn't see it?
Ultralisk Tavern? Cavern? Cavern.
You know what's really interesting? Yabsab has kept his beetles alive, just hanging out in his main this whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
He has some, plan in the future for these. Maybe like once he gets plague, the plaguing the vessels and then sniping everything out of beetles.
Nice plague there. Or not? Did he plague there?
I think it was just a Dark Swarm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought I.
Yeah, Scant's macro is really good right now. He's got a giant vessel count. He's kept Yabsab contained to his base. And, Yabsab has 3 bases, but he hasn't really been able to do anything. Ooh, there's the plague. I missed it. But yeah, now I'd expect to see those mutalisks to try to come in and snipe those vessels. There's a second plague.
Good. I think we're seeing some Ultralists come out soon.
Yeah, that's exciting. Especially, I was looking. Yabsab had like about 1,300 gas and minerals, and now he's got 300. So,
He's got these mutas too. Is he? Yeah.
yep, totally. And he only sent one of his mutalists. Just like that. It's so fascinating. He has a greater plan for the rest of his 10 mutalists at the bottom of his base. Earlier you were saying how Firebrats are OP, right? Because like they do get +2 on their upgrades every single time,
Yeah,
and
I
they
really
do splash
do.
damage. But the thing about Firebat damage is it's concussive damage. So against Ultralists, they each do 16 base. They do 4 damage each hit. So it's kind of laughably small.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I heard Artosis once say,
Exactly.
intuitively you think that bats would be a good counter to Ultralists, but apparently not.
Yeah. So even with +3 upgrades, 22, you take 25% of that, and that's like 5 or 6 damage.
You know what? I'm surprised he's held on to that base in the bottom right for so long. But Scan looks like he's just had it enough to try to take it out.
Oh yeah, that is surprising, because I swear Scan had like a giant magnetic ball in that area. Right? But, I mean, Scan is, macroing really well still, too. He's got his mineral only up and running. He's got a 4th base that he's ferrying some SCVs over to.
I haven't seen one awfully bad engage from either of them, where just like it felt like they lost a bunch of units for no reason. These type of engages, I feel like yabsab has to do it. Like he just got probably the best plague ever. It's hard to see it because Terran's the color red already, but
right.
He just got a bunch of units there.
When you get to this like ultra late game though, once Zerg on 3 gas, they're right where they want to be. Zerg on 4 gas, they can do almost anything. They're extremely scary. And so like 4 base Terran versus 4 gas Zerg, I think it favors 4 gas Zerg.
Okay.
Yeah, this Marine Medic army actually did pretty well against that. But he's gonna lose these vessels here if he doesn't move them really soon. Yeah, the mutalists are coming, making a beeline for those vessels. They thought the vessels retreated, and so they're going over to his base. But then they realized that he just left them there. A lot of gas.
Oh my god, there's battle cruisers in this game? Missed that. So, Zerg's bottom right expansion looks like it's going to be taken out by 2 battle cruisers.
Yeah. Yevsen didn't pay attention. He had a Midas Canal there. But I guess a good point would be, like, what reason could he actually have done against those battle cruisers? Because you need Scourge.
There's a Plague and the Mutas, maybe.
Yeah, these Mutas and these Scourge are going to be able to clean this up.
Wow.
Battle cruisers are so tanky. This is funny. Finally it goes down.
And that's a perfect time to attack his Terran.
Yeah, Scan is all over the map. He's got to be careful here against these lurkers. He's not really microing it right now.
Oh, I'm surprised it got pushed away.
Yeah, both these players are playing really good StarCraft. They're...
I can't say who's winning, to be honest.
I can't either, to be honest. Scan is adding a third starport with an add-on.
Nice play.
Yeah, this is late game Zerg, the power of late game Zerg.
Aaron's got the upgrade, so 3-3. Not enough to push back the Ultralisk there. And Zerg is just slowly expanding everywhere.
Yeah. It's just, like, it's just so much more difficult, I think, to control multiple different groups of Marine Medic, which are very fragile, and also macro out of with your Marine Medic at the same time. And you look at the supplies now, they're flipped around.
Yeah,
Yabsab is,
that's impressive.
they're going back and forth, but Yabsab is pretty much caught up / overtaking Scan and supply.
Battle cruisers taking out a bunch of drones.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Scans or Yabsab second expansion.
Right. But I don't know if he has to really worry about that because
Yeah, he's got too many units at his base right now.
yeah, if Scan loses control of his production, that's game over. So he can't let that happen.
Ow. The Zerglings are strong.
These battle figures are still alive, that's crazy. Ooh, Scan's about to lose control of his like little high ground base at 3 o'clock too. I mean, but he's still in this. He's still got bases. Problem is, I don't think he's on the defensive now, and making Zerm can continuously put you on the defensive and expand behind it, which is exactly what Yabsab is doing. He's got a gas coming up in the 5 o'clock position.
They're both playing so good, man.
Say that again?
They're both playing so well.
They are. Yeah, but it's just too much for Scan. He types out.
So if that's going to be the case in this show match, they're looking like they're evenly skilled. I know that Scan beat Yabsab 2-1 in that recent tournament, so it wasn't a shutout. But we'll see.
All right, I think we're back. So taking a quick look at the, our records here, Showmatch, Think Quick Showmatch records. With that loss, that previous series, True Touch is actually 0-3 in the Think Quick series. Now his competition has been pretty stiff. He's faced DeWalt, Terra, and Dandy. DeWalt, each of these are probably the top 3, top 4 foreign Protoss Terran or Protoss and Terran. But his overall think quick record isn't that great.
Hasn't been shut out. So against the Vault, who's what, maybe the second, if not the first best foreigner, Protoss. And I heard DeVault's PVZ is his best. He went 2-3. That's what we have.
Yeah.
And 2-3 Andy.
Out of all the foreigners, when I was just, took a look at the BNet MMR of folks who've played in the Think Quick series.
Right.
I think Touch has the highest, if not the second highest, foreigner MMR out of all the MMRs I checked. Yeah. Second highest, I believe. The highest is with Bonith. Actually, third highest. His highest was with Bonnet, second highest is Ziki, and then third is True Touch.
I really enjoy watching him play, man. Really good Zerg player.
Yeah.
And he's always down to play show match. Good manner.
So are we on Fighting Spirit? Is that what this is? Or no, this is
Polypoid.
Polypoid, yeah.
I think we mentioned that Scan has only lost one show match. Well, one versus one.
When he's playing Terran. He did have a show match against Terror, where he played Protoss and actually went 0-4.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah.
So
he has lost that. Terror got him back. Yeah, that was the best of 7.
Right.
Good games. And then he played against Terror TBT. He's lost against the Volts. Another good show match. And we have a rematch with Scan and DeVault that we haven't shown yet.
So we have some early lings here. I don't know if he scouted that. I don't think he saw this. So this could be a really early game. He does not know these Zerglings are here.
It's not good. Let's see his reaction.
He is totally caught with his pants down. Wow, that micro is so good.
Right.
How did he do that?
That was perfect.
That was literally.
He's gonna lose that Marine. Even if he does.
He's gonna lose one Marine from this?
That's perfect.
Insane.
That would have been a good game for most Terran players.
Yeah, that's good game when I play. That's
Perfect
like flash
timing.
level micro there. That was so good.
Perfect timing. Now the Zerglings, I don't know, should have maybe went different direction, but I don't think he would have been able to do much there. Ooh,
So
nice.
real quick, what had happened early game? So like what as Terran you do when you whenever you open on a 4-player map, actually even a 3-player map, I think. What you do is you send your first scout out, like either with your barracks or with your barracks as you're building it, and then you have to send a second scout out with the SCV that finishes your barracks to look for the 9 pool so that you can adequately defend against it. But what had happened this game was yabsab actually sent his lings slightly around, like on a different trajectory compared to where a normal scouting SCV would go out, and he missed it. Like he totally sidestepped the second scout. So that was really tricky.
Take it out.
Yeah, yabsab has speedlings out, and Scan cannot. He has to fight this with SCVs. He can't fight this without it. He's only got 5 Marines. One of them is already damaged. Picks off a second SCV.
They're so good, man. I'm watching them like do multiple things. I can't really, I'm not watching his lings for several seconds. I'm going back to his base, and they're just doing so many things at once. That,
Yeah, totally. There's so much lost mining time right here. It's so annoying.
yeah, this is good.
Okay, he has enough Marines now that he can hold this without stim.
Didn't lose a single ling yet.
Yeah. And that's how often you see people, like, when they do this fast EC, build a supply depot to kind of narrow the choke so he doesn't have to cover as much area with his Marines. Okay, so Mutalisk Spire is almost finished. Yabsab already has his drone in the third base, getting ready to build a hatch there. And Scans picking this time to move out. Again, he did this thing, he did the early academy with the 2-Rex. Now his turrets are... I think his turrets are actually right on time. I was gonna say they're a little behind, but I think they're like barely... They're just gonna finish right on time. These guys know their timing so well. Look at this turret. It finishes a second before... The turret is made, finished a second before Muta's got in range. That was amazing.
That is pretty cool. I love his Muta micro. I'm really liking his debut in our series.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Scan is very well prepared for this, though.
Yeah.
He might even try to sandwich these Mutalisks on the other side. So Yepsep has to be careful. He hasn't really gotten much done with these Mutalisks yet. He's even lost one, so... I think he needs to... He really needs to get some more damage done with these Mutalisks.
There's just that one turret by the command center at home. Okay, so Scan's just gonna move out.
Yeah, I don't know if Scan has Scan
I
his
mean,
natural.
quite a few minerals. He could have afforded a few more turrets. He's making 2 more at his main. I like how he's targeting the barracks, man. He's gonna kill any Marines.
Yeah. His Marine Medic, I don't think his Marine Medic can handle this. It's 6
Sunkens.
Sunkens. He's just gonna lose this. There's no way.
I think.
Yeah, he backs off. There's no way. And now those Mutalisks haven't even really, turned back. They're gonna sit on his production forever. But I think the game's just over. I mean, these Mutalisks are gonna get so much damage done.
Unless he can get back. But I would have figured he'd scan. Once he sees that many Sunkens, he wouldn't bother. Although I guess it did force him to make that many Sunkens.
Right, if you look at his natural, like all he's doing, he's got 4 drones in his natural. 3 mining gas and 1 mining minerals.
Scan has 43 SCVs, yeah. He only has 18 drones.
Yeah, I thought Yepsep built a factory in the 4 o'clock base, but I guess I was wrong.
Scan's got a lot of minerals.
I think that's the only reason Scan is still in this, because he has an army and he has the resource advantage.
This will drive any player crazy. It's the most annoying thing in the whole game. Right?
It's got a Muta micro, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it just never stops. It's incessant. It drives you crazy.
But Scan cannot lose these Marines.
And he's
If he
got
loses
more.
these Marines, he's dead. See, he throws up 2 turrets immediately, because he knows he cannot lose his production here. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much better his economy is if he doesn't have production. He's dead. I think this game's over.
Yeah.
That's it.
Taps out. Wow.
That's it.
That was really well played by yabsab.
Yeah.
I mean, Scan is a top tier player, man. He had quite a few minerals. I wonder if a few more turrets would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, I think there was some decision making. That game was won on that one decision to commit to Yabsab's natural. I don't know if he scanned Yabsab put down those extra 2 sunkens, but he went from like 4 sunkens to 6 sunkens, and I think that did the trick.
Well, I'll say this: Scan has never really had an easy opponent. You know, when it came to 2v2s, he played the best foreigners we had, Dandy and Babo. And he's played S rank players. Dandy, Terror, Devolt, Yoon, yabsab.
Yeah. So Scan played a lot of mech. I think specifically on Eclipse in his ASCL or whatever it's called match.
Right?
He played a mech opening. So I'm wondering if he's gonna do that this game as well.
That's interesting. I don't think I've seen him go mech TVZ, have we? I think Grind Boss is the only person that comes to mind who's gone mech against Zerg somewhat effectively.
Right.
I saw Flash do that against Queen. You remember that? ASL. Didn't go so well.
Yeah, yeah. I think was that the series where he went he also went Valkyrie or maybe I'm
Might
thinking
have
of
had one or two. I just remember a lot of Goliaths. He was at like 6 o'clock, and I think Queen was at like 3. And I think Queen just went Lings and Mutas. Queen just played so well that series.
right. It's so cool that in StarCraft, like it's like what it's like a 30-year-old game, even 25-year-old game, and like there's still so much variety of like new strategies being developed. Like Terran vs Zerg, like 1-1-1 was not a thing like, even 3 or 4 years ago.
Is that
Like it
right?
wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing played at like the highest level. And then now we're seeing like this 2 fact mech coming back into favor
Cool.
on Goliaths against Mutalisk. Super cool. My favorite opening in Terran vs Zerg is like a super old school build too. It's one where you go a fast like 1 Rax Academy into an fast expansion, and it catches a lot of
I remember this.
Zergs off off guard because it's just not meta anymore. But
Right.
it used to be the meta
I like those kind of builds, man.
like 15 years ago, 10 or 15 years ago.
I think anything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scan is just, he was making 3 or 4 SCVs at a time.
Yeah.
He's at 16 supply. He's going to try to put down a command center once he gets rid of this annoying drone.
Ooh, this drone. This drone's gonna die. Nope, it has a sliver of HP left.
Yeah. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
And so if he were to we've seen Scan do this fast expansion every game, but if he were not doing that,
Oh my god.
I'd say this is probably the map I'd expect him to fast expand on because
I love seeing a drone kill an SCV, man.
Did that happen?
Yeah, in his base, he got rid of Scan Scout.
Oh shoot, I didn't.
With
I
that
see.
range, and it's
Right.
just, these guys, their micro is just, and there's so little lag, I guess, that
Yeah.
I mean, if I attack an SCV with the drone, it starts attacking my drone. My drone's going to go to the middle line. Right? I'm not even going to try to.
Right, right. It's the Korean like everybody has like fiber optic speeds in Korea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's insane how
Right.
their
That's
internet
cool.
is so fast.
And that sort of, yeah, gives way to their talented way of playing.
I wonder if like PC cafes are still a big thing in Korea.
I would imagine so. Did they stop being a thing?
I don't know. Like I know they never really got that big in the US, and I think they've really died out in the US.
Yeah, I remember a time when they were like, this was a while back. Maybe they were still big afterwards, but it was like Counter Strike days and StarCraft days, and
Right.
Bubble Tea days. But Bubble Tea's always in.
Okay, so this is finally a game I think that's a little different from Scan. Instead of the early academy, got an early engineering bay on a single barracks. So he's looking to go for an early +1, and maybe like 4 or 5 barracks as a different way to deal with this 2-hatch. And actually, if looking at this game, it's not even a 2-hatch; it's a 3-hatch. I think this hatch was well, the third hatch. I think he built a little later.
Sing.
Yeah, see, there you go. There's four barracks really soon. I won't be surprised if you built the 5th one. Okay, so now that's just building a turret. And yabsab is playing a little different. He's got this really early engineering bay. If you look at what Scan just scanned, I'm not sure if he actually scanned the evolution chamber. No, he's just looking for
Right.
yabsab's 3rd gas right now. But the early evolution chamber, so what that tells me is he wants to go into Hive and get his upgrades for that Hive tech.
Right.
Yeah, Ultralists or Zerglings.
I think he did something similar 2 games ago.
Right.
What's this drone doing? Is this a Queen's? Yeah, I guess you called it there.
Yeah.
The app's not going to shut Scan out. This has never happened.
Oh, wait, I wouldn't call it that early, but Scan has just used 4 scans trying to look for, 3 scans trying to look for Yabsab's 3rd gas. He is really confused right now. So he's thinking either Yabsab is doing something really cheesy and getting a hidden 3rd hatchery at one of the bases I haven't scanned yet, or he was doing some crazy mutualist all-in where, actually, I think he knows he's not doing a mutualist all-in because I think he scanned that 3rd hatch, or at least the creep edge on that 3rd hatch. Yeah.
Not a single sunk has been made yet. I love it. I mean, that says something about your Muta Micro.
I'll tell you what, though. Scan has a lot of Marine Medic.
Yeah, that's true.
And Yabsab really hasn't gotten much done. Like, he hasn't delayed Scan's economy. Like, he might have delayed his tech a little bit. But Scan is... I think Scan's fine right now.
I'm not sure about this attack. Yeah, he's gonna back away. Oop.
Scans +1 is done. Is it done? Yeah, it's done. And yabsab does not have any upgrades on his Mutalisks. So
Sees that expansion though, upper left.
right. So Scan's in a great position this game.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And there you go. It's a 2-base Ultralist strategy. I mean, I guess it's a 3rd base, but it's quickly he's gonna lose his 3rd base. I don't think he has enough Mutalisks and Zerglings to fight this army. Yeah, he does not take that fight. If he took that fight, I mean, I guarantee you his Mutalisks would have all died. And he would have popped out.
Not bad, picked off the free points.
You know, this is an interesting spot where he could take a fight if he catches Marines in that tiny choke, but Scan's not going to do that. Yeah, I mean, this Zerg army doesn't stand a chance against this, I don't think. But these Metalics are way out of position, and wow, he actually kills it. Look, Scan streams another group of Marine Medic from his base as reinforcements, and yabsab loses his army. His Ultralist Cavern is done.
I wonder if he overinvested there.
No Ultralisks yet. And Scan is just in a great position, I think. Scan scans tech, so he knows Ultralisks are coming. And he's got 2 engineering bays, so he's going to be keeping up on upgrades. So I don't think he has anything to worry about.
Nice block. I don't know how effective Ultralists are going to be on just one expansion.
Yeah, he really would need that 3rd gas.
Yeah.
Especially because this game, Scan had no problems keeping up in upgrades.
I see the queens though. That's interesting. So we might see ensnare.
Oh, that's such a cool strategy. I hope we do see ensnare. That would be super cool. Like, I don't know the theory crafting on like how much slower Marines attack when they're ensnared,
Right.
or like how many queens you need to do. Like, if you think about it, like queens are going to be kind of like a multiplier effect in your army, right? Or a multiplier debuff on the opponent's army.
Right.
So it's as if like they had maybe 75% the number of units that they actually have.
If I remember Artosis correctly, I think he said that ensnare does diminish the effectiveness of stim.
Right.
I don't know what the percentage is, but
Right.
I remember a player used it in ASL on the map Neo Siflet really effectively. I forgot what his name was.
Yeah, I remember seeing it a handful of times in pro play too, but it's a handful of times, right? Unless it's a mech game.
Here they are.
Yeah, they're the queens, but
Not the best place to engage, I guess. He's just looking for a good opportunity.
right. Scan has too much Marine Medic, and he had the high ground. They were bunched up in a ball. It radiates the Overlord. I love that.
Two E-base. He's about to get 2-1 upgrades. And he's upgrading that 3rd attack.
Yeah, Scan's macro is so good. He's he's gonna be maxed out in the next minute or two.
Yeah. It's a lot of Marines, man. Even if you get a really good snare or two, I mean.
And yabsab is yabsab is supply blocked, unfortunately, and he stakes 2 parasites on the vessels and then kills one of the vessels. So unfortunately, that queen didn't do very much before it died.
Mm. One vessel down.
It's fascinating that Scan is playing. Feels like he's playing so safe. He's like not engaging. Like he might. I don't know if he was waiting for some timing in terms of his upgrades or
Right.
something. But now, he decides the time is now. He's gonna go in. Yeah, this Zerg army's not gonna stand a chance.
No way. No snare, nothing.
Yeah. Like, look how fast these Ultralists died.
Maybe a few lurkers. I don't know. He's got quite a few minerals here. God. He's missing lurkers, right? I'm guessing that's what he needed.
Yeah, I mean...
No tanks. Again, it's not going to be shut out. So I did start to add our events on Team Liquid's calendar.
Nice. I saw that earlier.
I'd recommend. I didn't even know about it. I guess
Yeah.
people pay attention to that.
So that last game, was Lurker missing? I don't know if it, I think going super fast Hive can work, but I think Yepsen just needed something, to do more damage in that early game with his Mutalisks.
Plague?
And he really wasn't able to get that done. Because I think with early Ultralists, you're trying to just overwhelm the Terran with your upgrades on the Ultralists, right? Where they just never die, and then Zerglings come in to to destroy everything with their super high DPS, right? Ultras soak up the damage, and Zerglings, destroy everything with the DPS because they attack so fast. But he just did not have. He did not do the economic damage to stop Scan's macro in the early game, and Scan kept up in upgrades as well, so it didn't work out.
Well, he didn't get shut out. Still 2-1 for a Zerg. I'm sure he wants a little revenge for the tournament outcome.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that.
When I was setting this up, I sort of wanted Scan just to contact yabsab because he invited him to our Discord, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they speak Korean, and they know each other's schedules. So I figure, just let them set it up. No need for me. But he had asked me to message yabsab, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I messaged the guy, and he's friendly. He's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay,
And he
cool.
messages Scan, and then Scan's like, okay, cool. I wanted you to message him because he hadn't spoken to yabsab since the tournament. And he wasn't sure how, like, yabsab was feeling after that. But he was
Right.
like, okay, he's cool about it. He's professional, right? Because you don't take it personal. And I think
Right.
they're, I don't know if I can use the word friends, but him, Yoon, yabsab, a few other players, So, Disney, they kind of have like a circle, right?
Right.
They're all younger guys. I think in their mid 20s or something.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Probably super tough, you know. Fuck, it's like to make a
Right.
comparison, like me trying to hang with the NBA players. Korea's no joke, right? It's like
Yeah.
the level of playing is really high, and for them to make it as far as they did, it's impressive.
Right. So we have a 9 pull again from Yabsab, and finally we get something different. We have an early gas from Scan. So I'm excited to see some mech play here. I don't know if it's going to be mech or 1v1 at this point yet. Scan scouts the early lanes, so he's gonna bring some SCVs to his ramp at the right time to block their the SCVs come.
Yep.
And he's actually quite fortunate to have scouted that way first, because I don't think he was sending another SCV out to scout the other way. Yeah, so he's got 6 SCVs on his ramp, and yeah, you can't break that with 6 Zerglings. Oh, that's so cool. This SCV somehow like dodged out the Zerglings. Zerglings went all the way up to the corner of his mineral only to look for that SCV, but the SCV dodged around that area. So Scan sees what he's doing. He sees the 2-hatch, lair timing.
Vulture. I haven't seen this from Scan.
Yeah, so this is going to be a 1-1-1, where he's going to build a starport. And the question is if it's going to be... So I don't play 1-1 and actually don't know enough theory about it, but it can go into a variety of different things. One of them is Vulture drop with speed, but I don't know the timing on if that will, like if he's able to pull that off before Mutalisk gets into his base. So Scan's able to poke his Vulture in before the Sunkfin colony finishes, but Yabsab has Zerglings on his ramp, and I don't think Scan was able to see that, but he knows Yabsab probably has that ramp covered at this level. So he doesn't go for it.
What do you think of the speed upgrade in Wraith? Ooh, the Lings are just gonna run in. I guess he wanted vision, huh?
Yeah, that speed upgrade tells me... Actually, I don't know what it tells me. It tells me he might want to go for a drop, a Vulture drop. And yeah, so there's the starport. Add-on going up right now. But he's also getting an armory, so I think that's... The starport add-on is more for...
Right.
More for Valkyrie. Because I don't see a science vessel. Kind of commenting in the dark here, because I just don't know 1-1-1 very well. At least the theory and strategy around it.
This is cool, man. I don't think I've seen
Oh, wow,
scan
sorry.
like this. Nice block.
He gets
Oh.
a vulture, a speed vulture up his ramp, and a speed vulture, micro correctly, can kill infinity lings.
And he just got his meters out in time.
Yeah, this vulture has enough HP that it can, you know, keep being annoying for another minute at least.
He killed it with that.
Oh, we get stuck though. That was unfortunate. So Scan is going for those Valkyries. This is like a scrappy looking build. He's got like
Yeah.
one of each unit type, you know what I mean? But I mean, maybe all he needs to do is be scrappy because look at this, yabsab only has 4 Mutalisks. He has 2 Scourge, and 2 Scourge will destroy a Valkyrie. We'll just straight up kill a Valkyrie.
Get there, yeah.
So you see that? He kills 1 Valkyrie right away.
We're just sort of hidden in between his meters.
But these Mutalisks, yeah, they cannot fight this army. They might be able to fight now, but he doesn't turn around.
I think they're dead. They do. That Valkyrie's gonna do so much damage.
Wow. Scan has to be careful though, because there's at least 1 pair of Scourge. Yeah, there's 2 pairs of Scourge from that larva.
Ooh.
Oh wow, he loses another. Oh, Scan. This is incredible that this build is working.
I'm surprised those Scourge was living that long, man.
Yeah, and I'm amazed, like, Scan was able to go on the offense with this scrappy little army. And
Valkyries are super strong.
yeah, and he drove him all the way back to his main and got, you know, like 3 Mutalisk kills, 4 Scourge kills.
Yeah, I wonder how Zerg is gonna respond to this. What's the ground unit counter to Goliaths? Is it Hydralisk?
Yeah, it's Hydralisks.
But then what do you do about, you know, the Valkyries and Wraith going to your base?
Yeah, you really don't need to worry that much about it because Hydralisks are just so much more cost effective.
Yeah, running around with them kind of sucks, I think. They don't have that much mobility as meters offer you.
Right.
And it seems like he's sticking with the meters. Is he gonna stop this? Oh wow.
So he kills the Wraith, he's gonna kill this Valkyrie as well. But this ground army is gonna take this third. That's what it's looking like.
Valkyrie's been running around that whole time. Hilarious.
The ultimate decoy.
This build is paying off. Yeah.
It is. You know what this build's like? This build is kind of like a 2v2 build. This turn, almost.
I wonder if Dan or yabsab was better served countering instead of trying to help his second expansion there. Probably wouldn't have worked. I mean, Scan already had 3 factories up.
Yeah, Scan is playing this early game. I mean, he has gotten everything he wanted out of the early game, right? He's gone into the mid game with an expansion up. He's denied yabsab's 3rd base. And he's got the production buildings he needs to really go hard and macro in the mid game. He's so far ahead right now. So far ahead.
Yeah, double the supply.
I mean, yabsab only has 2 hatcheries. I mean, I expect him to GG really soon.
Yeah,
The rest of his
he's made his third hat-trick, but then what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I guess players like this, when they're that deadly with mutas, you gotta get Valkyries and Goliaths. Not saying that's why he did that, but
You know, I don't think yabsab has gone into like seeing like the production that Scan has.
right.
So once he sees that, and you know how many Goliaths he's up against, I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna see the writing on the wall. I mean, he's still trying, right? He's going the next best thing against Goliaths, which is Mass Hydra. So he got a Hydraless Den, an Evolution Chamber, because you absolutely need to keep up in upgrades. But I mean, Scan's already ready for that. He's got vultures to lay mines across the map.
I guess with a build like this, you really test how versatile Zerg is. Are they able to use a different type of unit than mutas? I just don't see how mutas would pull this off. I don't think Hydralisks are that good against Goliaths, right? They still kind of...
They trade just like from a cost effective perspective. Like if you look at
Right, I mean...
like if you look at how many like Goliaths evenly match up against Hydras, and then how many resources they each cost.
Right.
I just trade way more effectively.
Better than Lings or mutas, right? I mean,
right.
But
and it'll look deceptive. The supply counts, right? I mean, it always looks deceptive to Zerg, but like Hydras are 1 supply, whereas Terran units are 2 supply.
Defense the Scan is making. I'm surprised he's taking the threat that seriously.
Yeah.
Opponent, you know. 1 expansion. Running around with what, 10 meters?
Right.
HP?
Yeah.
He's made like 20 turrets.
Right. And so in the games that Scan played against Yoon in the ACSL, he went mech as well, and then Yoon pulled out Mass Queen against that strategy. So he went Queens and Hydralisks, and the Queens were there to take out the tanks, and then the Hydralisks cleaned up the rest of the Terran army, and that was very effective. I think, yeah, he killed Scan twice that way.
He must have made quite a few queens. 6?
Yeah, more than that.
Because they got to get Bruling, and that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, taking this fight right now is a mistake. Yeah, yabsab. GG's.
I don't think there's any way he could have came back. 2-2. Scan versus yabsab.
It's going down to the wire.
Jerry, are you still alive, man? I asked him if he wanted a real best of 5 or...
Oh, come on, Jerry. You get raided and you instantly send an ad? Come on.
Yeah. Way to go, Jerry. Did he get raided?
Yeah, he got raided by Crossy with Party of 13, and then he instantly puts up an ad.
We getting like quarters, man. Like cents for it. But whatever. I got some funny comments from a committee member, associate of Rustbrain. So we got accepted, but he told me the bad news first. Some comments from somebody, and the guy's basically like, he was looking at our views, and follows on Twitch, and they seem low. Mind you, we've only been doing this for 3 weeks, but he's like, it seems like only the creator and 10 or 20 people are interested in this. Yes and no. We'll see if it grows.
Yeah.
I gotta incur the expenses, and whoever wants to help me for the next 6 months, and then they would do it. But if you want to apply for it again next year, I think you'd have to show some growth or whatever, and we'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things we can do, and hey, we've gotten some donations in, right? So, I mean, I think there's still some likes here.
Yeah, the fact that all these people on Discord have joined and they want to do show matches, and we get some people following. It's cool, man. I consider it a real contribution to the foreign BW scene and to some amateur Koreans. Adding something new that didn't exist before.
Right.
Community service, man. But I guess they want to see something more. I'm not sure if that's really possible or not, to be honest. Unless you have, I don't know, big personalities, something more to offer. I do remain hopeful, though, partly because of the views and following that Falcon has sort of gathered, and he caters, I think, mostly to an English-speaking audience, so they're out there.
Right.
The tiebreaker, is this Neo?
This is Sylphid. This is Sylphid.
So this map was pretty good for yabsab. Oh no, he lost this one, didn't he?
I trying to think about it. I remember commenting about how no, he won this one. This one late game.
Yeah,
he
got a bunch of like expansions and ultralists. Yeah. It looked like scans. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. A very good game.
All right, I wonder what Scan's gonna do. Are we gonna see the same thing?
Yeah, it seems Mech has been working out better for him. So I wonder if he's gonna do that again. Looks like yabsab's going for a hatchery first build. It's a very eco first build. And Scan looks like he's ready to wall off his entrance, and he's getting a gas. So I'm hoping to see some more factory play here.
Yeah, it's up to yabsab to respond to it effectively, if he can.
Yep. So do you know if when yabsab and Scan played in the ASCL, did yabsab take a game off of Scan at all, or?
Yeah, the final outcome was 2-1 for Scan,
2-1.
So he did win one. And I get the feeling the skill disparity isn't that great between them. They might be very evenly matched.
Yeah.
Yoon might be a little better than Scan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure though. We just had that one show match between them. Hopefully have another one. I am trying to organize a free-for-all with them, and they've all agreed with Ample, but we'll see if that happens. I don't know if that's cool for some people, but I kind of look forward to it. And we got a free-for-all tomorrow that we're showing. Euro free-for-all show match with 5 players.
How large is the map? Is it like a 6-player map or an 8-player map?
Yeah, I forgot what they chose, man. I thought it was Hunters, and this was before a map maker suggested another map that's like Fighting Spirit for 8 players. But
it'd be hilarious if it was like fastest or something like that.
We had DeVault, Suzuki, Grind Boss, Casper, Kane. And they had a lot of fun. And I'm just kind of. I think there's too many players there. I think if there's like at least 3, you could approach it strategically. Like, you know, how do you play it free for all?
Right.
I'm guessing you would want to expand, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
build a strong economy, kind of like a no rush 10-minute kind of thing. But I don't know. We'll see if I can get the Korean one. I think it'd be worth analyzing it in that way. But with a 5-player free for all, it might just be a total like shitstorm. Might be
Right.
cool though, you know. Somebody's dropping this person, somebody's getting attacked here. Like, poor
Yeah.
Jerry's gonna have to observe it.
In it, is free for all like an actual map or a game type?
You can choose it, yeah.
Yeah, because I wonder if like what's to stop like a few players from like using
Allying?
diplomacy, right? Like, hey, let's gang up on.
We didn't set any rules, so that, you know, like, I know Casper, Grindboss, and Kane play.
Yeah.
They could very well be like, "Hey, bro, I'm at 3," and that's up to people to sort of. We could figure it out. I think if we're casting, streaming it, maybe, but
Yeah.
totally.
Totally.
I don't know. I think that like political aspect of it would make sense, unless we just say, you know, you're not allowed to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
It would make sense to do if there's like 4 or 5 players, but not if there's 3. I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, so Scan's going for factory play this game. Yabsab wasn't able to find a good counter against that last game. Although last game was a little different. That was a 1-1-1. This is really just factory play with Goliaths. I think Scan went this build because he saw that Yabsab just built that spire, like out the front of his base or in front of his natural.
Right.
And so he wasn't afraid of any sort of like Hydra bust. He knew he was just looking to go up against Mutalisks. So yeah, he'll be fine. He's got 5 Goliaths out already, and he's got turrets up at both his main and his natural. Don't see him researching Goliath right. Okay, there it goes right now.
This is Yapsap's bread and butter here, man.
Oh, never mind. Goliath range is already done. Nice.
Is this gonna work? Quite a few Goliaths.
Yeah, he picks off 2 Goliaths and a turret, so that's pretty good. He didn't lose any Mutalisks there.
+1 is gonna finish up for the Goliaths.
Oh, that's nice.
1 meter down.
Ooh, Scan is getting his macro on. He adds 3 more factories. 3 more quick factories. And Yabsab sees it.
Man.
Yabsab might be able to get some damage done here.
Same
Well, I
with
guess-
Muta Micro.
Right.
Makes it look so easy. Is he gonna move out? Yeah. Scan's had enough. Enough of your bullshit. Is he going back? Yep. A lot of mutas.
Yeah, this is the problem with mech is that it's so immobile.
Making 1 tank. Another machine shop going down. So I'm guessing he wants to bring in some tanks into circulation.
Yeah. See, like, I think one of the downsides with mech play is that you're playing in the dark for most of this early game because you don't really get that academy.
Right. Good point.
It doesn't really go into your build order. And so this whole time he's been playing in the dark. He
Right.
doesn't know what the tech switch looks like, if there's a tech switch coming or not.
That's a really good point. Big sacrifice. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's just a real menace with his mutas.
Oh
Ooh.
wow, those Mutos fly right into control group of Goliaths. But I mean, this is really annoying. He's killed so many SCVs here.
Mutas are +1. The Goliaths are going to be 1-1 soon. I guess the mutas will be 1-1 in some time.
He's getting non-stop Mutalisks. Holy cow. He just built like 6 more Mutalisks.
Ah.
Yeah, Scan decides to start moving out now.
Don't think. Hydralisks are very effective. Not enough to take on all these Goliaths.
Yeah, siege mode is done.
I think he gave him a chance for the Goliaths to come out, and this is a big problem for yabsab.
Right.
It'd be a good time right now just to rush into his base and start killing everything. He doesn't have a single turret in his main, but now he's just sort of on the offensive.
Yeah, yabsab, like Scan has this like, I'd say 2-minute window right now to overwhelm yabsab with his Terran Ball. If he doesn't do that, yabsab economically is actually far up compared to Scan.
That already transfers his drones. He's just gonna
That's countering right now. Take a look at this. He is streaming Hydras over, and I think he's going to be able to overwhelm this. Force a lift of the command center, and yabsab is going to try to stream into his base.
Yep.
On the other side, Scan is also, he's got so many Goliaths here. He's got 2 control groups of Goliaths and 3 siege tanks. And he's just going to destroy this whole natural. Now the question is, can yabsab basically, suffocate Scan's production? I think Scan thinks he can, so Scan is turning back.
I don't know how he didn't have an answer to all these Goliaths and tanks.
No, this game is not over. This game is not over. Like, Scan has to deal with these units that are streaming into his base.
I love that command center that just floated in there.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, look at the economy and the production. yabsab still has more drones than Scan. 1.5 times as many drones as Scan.
Good point.
And he's still got 2 hatcheries. It's their base.
Throwing away some Hydralisks there. Looks like yabsab is going to try to expand his natural again.
Yeah, yabsab's not out of this at all. He's not. He killed the CC. So Scan is literally 1 base against 2 base right now. He has a superior army, but that can change in the matter of a minute or 2.
Oh, his Hydralisk got
He's gonna die.
Couldn't afford that. Still has quite a few Hydralisks in the bottom.
So the question is Scan gonna try to secure his expansion, or is he just gonna try to kill yabsab right now? He knows yabsab is weak. He knows yabsab lost his natural. He knows yabsab has a 3rd base somewhere. He doesn't know the status of that 3rd base.
Yeah, that's true.
Where it is, how heavily defended it is.
Doing a good job buying time, man.
Right.
Running around, but
I think Scan is all in on this. He's not building another command center. He's just gonna create a giant army and he's gonna try to crush yabsab right here.
yeah. I wonder if he should expand it somewhere else instead of his natural.
And I don't know if this is gonna work. Yabsab is buying so much time. The more time that Yabsab buys, the further ahead he's gonna be.
Right.
He's just leading Scan on a wild goose chase with this small group of Hydralisks.
It might get.
Ooh, these tanks are gonna kill all these Hydralisks. But he might lose all these tanks to his Mutalisks, and he needs these tanks to siege up. A couple of Mutalisks go down there. And here's a problem. Scan still does not have a second base, and he needs it. He's going to mine out of his main base in the next. Let's see. He's got 300 minerals, 200 minerals, 250 minerals. He's going to mine out in the next like 2 minutes.
I'm guessing his plan is to just float.
Scan has found
making a command center
base, but Yabsab is countering right now, and Scan does not have any tanks at his main to defend against these Hydralisks. These Hydralisks are more than enough to take this army.
Oh, they're at a pretty bad choke point there. Oh, those are a lot of Goliaths, man.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get in.
He's got SCVs out to defend as well. So that was great. That was a great defense by Scan. And now Scan has destroyed half of Yabsab's production and almost half his drones. So now Scan's in a great position now. He's got to be careful not to lose this army here, though. But yeah, Yabsab, once he's lost that, he's got almost nothing, right? He's got this one control group of Hydralisks on the map. He's going to try to pick off some of these units here, but he's going to lose this whole control group. And then back at his main, his natural, he's got 2 sunken colonies, a handful of Mutalisks, and that's it. I think Scan has done it.
Wow.
Scan has got his natural up and running again. And somehow, Yabsab just doesn't have the units to defend this. What an exciting game. He's gonna take it
the match, but drones look like they're gonna pull through. Win the game.
Good game. Good game, good series. Great series.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry. Okay, so we got 4 show matches today. Starting to get really good show matches now on a regular basis with different players.
Yeah, different levels too. I like that.
Yeah, those are actually cool games, man.
If you guys are just tuning in, we stream Fridays and Saturday evenings, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we feature all sorts of players in paid show matches. These are